Here we have a mahogany cabinet. I'm not really sure, but I think it used to be a TV cabinet. The first time I looked at it, I just thought, you're a bit top heavy. So it looks like the TV used to be in the top compartment, and underneath would be something like a video recorder or a DVD player. It looks like someone's attempted to remove the varnish and then quickly given up. I don't like to see anything go to landfill. And I do believe most things can be rescued. But TV cabinets are not much of a thing these days. But it just so happens that I need a new bookcase for my office. So hopefully I can transform this piece into a bookcase. So stay tuned and see how this one turns out. Hello, welcome to another video. You came back for more. This cabinet was extremely heavy. You may or may not have seen my previous video, which was about the gentleman's wardrobe. That was huge and heavy to move around, so I thought this cabinet would be easy. That was not the case. Anywho, if you haven't seen that video, why not? Please go and check it out. So I decided to dismantle the whole cabinet. That would make it easier to concentrate on each piece, and it would allow me to have a think about how I would like to put it back together and make a transformation into the bookcase. It doesn't matter how busy I am, when Sully wants attention, you've got to give him attention. The piece was covered in a really thick varnish. It was even slathered all over the hardware. I used a heat gun and a scraper to get the thick of the varnish off. After the thick of the varnish was removed, it was then easier to sand. I sanded from 60 grit through to a 120 grit. This is the decorative archway that was inside the piece. It was only held together by plywood and staples. So I decided to remove that in preparation for using something a little bit stronger later on. I love these bifold doors. I took off all the hardware, ready to clean. So this is the small part of the cabinet which was on the bottom. You'll see me here dismantling this piece too. You almost always find a creepy crawly underneath an unwanted old piece like this. Unfortunately, it never gets any more pleasant. So this is mahogany wood. It has a straight grain, it's very durable, and it's a reddish brown timber. So when you add the white spirits, it gives you a good idea of what the grain will look like. All the parts have been stripped, sanded and cleaned. So now it's time to take a break with Charlie and Sully, the Beach Boys. This was an extremely windy day, as you can probably tell from Charlie's ears. That's enough now, boys. Before we blow away, let's get back to work. So I used pocket holes and screws to put the decorative arch back together again. It's important to use glue with pocket screws. They're not the strongest form of joinery, but they do the job for things such as this. Time to say bye-bye to the creepy crawly. The bottom base had just come a little bit loose, so I put some glue and clamps on there and repaired that. I had these hairpin legs spare which I took off another project. So I put them on and decided they looked pretty good. They instantly made an old-fashioned piece look a little bit more modern. I applied just one coat of American walnut wood dye, which soaked in straight away. That just gave the wood a slightly more brown hue before I continue on with the actual finish that I'm about to apply. So we're on the home straight now. It's time to reassemble. I used a small piece of sandpaper just to sand off the varnish that was on the screw heads. I used a spare piece of wood from the small compartment and I cut that down to make a shelf. This is just Sully pretending that he loves me so he can try and steal one of my dowels. I'm so onto him. Once again, just using the American walnut wood dye first, just to try and accent those brown tones. So I'm using a woodworking finish called Tung oil. It works so well with mahogany as it brings out the warm, deep reddish brown colour. It penetrates deep into the wood, so it won't leave a glassy sheen on the mahogany, and then it'll provide a very hard wearing, water and stain resistant finish. So tung oil is made from pressed seeds from the nut of the tung tree. The tung tree is native to China and is named for its heart-shaped leaves because tung is Chinese for heart. In the 14th century, Chinese merchants were noted for using tung oil to waterproof and protect wooden ships from the eroding powers of the sea. Tung oil seeps into the grain of the wood, giving it a perpetual wet look that highly accents the grain of the wood. So you might say it makes the grain pop. It's extremely easy to apply. So here I just used a cheap foam brush for application, and then I used a lint-free cloth to wipe away the excess after about 20 to 30 minutes. Although it doesn't matter in this case, but just to let you know, tung oil is non-toxic, so it's great for finish on toys and food surfaces. I made 4 applications in total, left to dry for about 24 hours in between each application, and I sanded with a 400 grit sandpaper after each application, and this gave me a wonderful smooth surface. Although the pure tung oil is clear, the colour of the wood is slightly darkened. It gives the wood a rich warm colour. When wiping off the excess, you may feel it drag a little bit. That's okay. I'm using Liberon wax polish to finish. So this wax feeds the wood, it polishes and protects. It also helps to prevent the wood from drying out. Apparently it gives a good resistance to finger marks, so if you have any small children with little muggy fingers, this is for you. This product is made from a blend of different waxes, and it includes carnauba wax, which is good for durability. Once again, this product is also really easy to apply. Once you've buffed it off with a nice clean cloth, you are left with a highly lustrous finish. Even though the old back was devastatingly delicious and such a wonderful treat to the eyeballs. I mean, it wasn't dropping to bits at all, was it? It had another 10 years in its life. I still decided to make a new back, even though it'll never compare to the old one. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button. I can't tell you how much that helps. Also, if you'd like to see more of my videos in the future, please subscribe to the channel. It's free of charge, it just means you'll get a little notification when I release new videos in the future. All that's left to say from me is a huge thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the final results.